Many people don't really understand how HIV and AIDS are related, even though they hear these two words used together all the time. Since the discovery of the virus more than 20 years ago, millions of people throughout the world have been infected with HIV. Most are adults, but there are kids and teens that have HIV too. This virus affects a large number of people and continues to spread rapidly. Right now, about 40 million people in the world are living with HIV infection or AIDS. This estimate includes 37 million adults and 2.5 million children. In the United States alone, more than 1 million people are living with HIV. I am here today with Geraldine Ravelo, the president of Help Innocent Victims. This organization is currently collecting funds to help babies with HIV. Hi, Geraldine. First of all, can you explain to us what HIV is?
Sure. Thank you for having me in your show. Well, HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. AIDS stands for Acquiring the Immunodeficiency Syndrome. HIV is actually the virus that causes the disease AIDS. After HIV enters the body, it goes into a T cell. Once inside, the virus completely takes over the cell. The newly virus multiplies inside the body. Then the virus invades all the T cells and they can no longer fight infections.
So what is the difference between HIV and AIDS?
Well, someone who is infected with the virus is called HIV positive, but it may take years for the virus to damage enough T cells for the person to get sick and develop AIDS. When HIV infections get worse or turn into a disease called AIDS, life really changes. The person may need to spend a lot of time in bed in the hospital because serious illness. He or she may feel very tired, weak most of the time. The person also may lose weight, although the HIV positive person may feel fine. The virus is silently reproducing itself and destroying T cells. And during this time, the person is still contagious, which means he or she is able to give the disease to others.
Oh, and how is HIV transmitted?
HIV infection isn't like a cold or the flu. A person cannot get HIV by hugging or holding the hand of, sharing a school bus or classroom, or visiting the home of someone who has HIV. HIV is only passed through direct contact with another person's body fluids such as blood. The four major routes of transmission are unprotected sexual intercourse, contaminated needles, breastfeeding, and MTCT, which is a transmission from an infected mother to her baby at birth.
Interesting. So we can still be friends with someone who has the virus, as long as we don't have direct contact with the person's body fluids. And what are the symptoms for babies who have HIV or AIDS?
Babies born with HIV infection may not show any symptoms at first, but the progression of AIDS is often faster in babies than in adults. Doctors need to watch them closely. Kids who have HIV or AIDS learn more slowly than healthy kids and tend to start walking and talking later.
But how can people who have HIV or AIDS can be cured? And what is the treatment?
Right now, there is no cure for HIV or AIDS, but new medicine can help people live longer life. Scientists are also reach vaccines that may one day help to prevent HIV infection, but it's very tough assignment, and no one knows when this vaccine may become available. It's up to everyone to prevent AIDS by avoiding the behaviors that lead to HIV infections.
And how is life living with HIV or AIDS?
It's very difficult for patients, but new drugs make it possible for people who are HIV positive to live for years without getting AIDS. They can work, go to school, make friends, hang out, and do most of the things other people can do. They will have to take certain medicines every day and see the doctors pretty often, and they may get sick more than other people do. Even though they may look okay, people who are HIV positive may sometimes feel scared, angry, unhappy, or depressed. They may feel afraid that people at work or school could find out, and start treating them differently. It is important for all of us to remember that usual social contact, like eating lunch or playing games with people who are HIV positive, does not bring any risk of infection.
Thank you very much, Geraldine. It was very interesting. Remember that a person can be infected with HIV without even knowing it, so doctors recommend that anyone who thinks he or she may have been exposed to the virus get tested, even if the chance of having been infected seems small. But thanks to new medication, someone infected with HIV can stay relatively healthy and symptom-free for many years. But these medications are very expensive and not available for everyone in the world. Maybe one day, with time and research, a cure for HIV infection will be found, and AIDS will no longer exist. Until then, the smartest thing to do is to know the facts and not put you at risk. If you have more questions about how this organization can help your baby with HIV, contact them at 1-800-HELP for Innocent Victims or visit their website at helpinnocentvictims.com. This is Deborah Pressburger from Fort Lauderdale. Back to our studios.